Okay, I found where the lost recipe is, because I was apparently making the wrong recipe with the whole triple variation. It's because that, for some reason, it isn't in the correct order.
Now then.
Blah blah blah. Because, apparently, it is a recipe of Muggle cream d'Anjou instead of a yogurt cheesecake. So, there's that. I have enough for... I don't even know why I bought Muggles. Just like... I bought them at the shop so I wouldn't have to gather ingredients myself. But hopefully after 2 of these I should be able to fill out the recipe book. And that'll be the end of this for 100%.
As you wish.
Let's see.
I have thought of a new arrangement to a recipe.
Okay. Now does he give me the whole 100% shtick?
Will that be all?
I don't know, maybe I have to talk to him again.
Thanks to you, I have collected many a recipe. I can now call myself a true chef. I cannot thank you enough. Maury's Touring Restaurant awaits your continued patronage.
And you obtain Maury's Bell. Now, what does this item do, you may ask? It is a piece of equipment, and it gives 55 defense, so it's not too shabby. Recover up to twice your max HP with food, while eating damage halved, and you cannot be knocked down, so... This actually is pretty good, considering the fact that you can, like, make your HP, like... So technically with Oswald, if I were to equip that bell and then use Maury's restaurant right there to gain a whole bunch of health, I could make my max HP up to 6,812 until I got hit. Which is actually really good. And, you know, it makes you invincible while eating, which is good if you have, like, stuff that gives a whole bunch of HP, like, this brownie here. Or if you want to use the miracle fruits, because it's just really good. Now, since I have access to the, where is it, the box with all characters, I can just slot that in there. So I can just put this here and I can have anyone be able to, grab it. I really haven't used much of this, I just have a whole bunch of Muggles that no one wanted. So, yep. Also, you may be thinking, oh, you only get one. Well, hang on, how do I return to base? Just a second. So if you go to this merchant here who's at the Puka village, I think with every chapter except Velvet's, I think Velvet has her own version of this guy, but this guy sells stuff you can't find elsewhere, supposedly. And you can buy Maury's Bell off him for as many people as you want. It costs 5,000 G, or gold, or whatever. It's expensive as fuck, but if you want more of them, you can do this. And I believe that they do stack, so if you had 3 of them, you could get up to, like, how much? 24,000 HP or something? Some ridiculous number, I don't know. But, yep. I forgot to mention this guy does sell, like, every single cooking ingredient you could possibly need. So, if you want to get recipes really quickly, apart from Mandragoras, you can buy everything here. But, I have no need to that. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. I actually forgot to put this in the video, but I forgot to actually do it, but remember how I said I would explain the prophecies beforehand so that not to read the thing? Which one? Odin's interpretation? No. Arian Saga. Here you go. Land sinks into the cauldron's fire. Though blades and arrows are unleashed, the flying fire can't be stopped. It can only be chained. So, basically, as I said, you have to have one of the 5 characters fight one of the 5 bosses. This one is the easiest one to interpret. I mean, you have to be an idiot not to understand. Cauldron's fire sinks into the land, it can only be chained. Obviously, you need to use Velvet against the cauldron. A fiery 6-eyed beast speeds the guiding hand of salvation. The one who removes the torment is mine own son. Also, when you... like, this is actually pretty obvious once you realize that King Galen wrote these, which means that King Galen's son removes them. His son is, Edmund, aka... well, Edmund doesn't really do anything, so his son will be the one who does it, aka Cornelius. Obvious. The north of the Netherworld emerges in a triumphant march of death. One that threatens the darkness is the shadow of the Lost Master. That's obviously Oswald. The looming blaze cometh burning down the forests. The flood of fire that man cannot withstand is halted by the world tree and vanishes. The only way you'd know this is... well, actually, this isn't that obvious, I'll give it that. Considering the fact that unless you remember, like, something from Oswald's book, something that Melvin says specifically when he releases his true name, that you know that it's, Mercedes. Obviously. The Lord of Snakes consumes all left behind. Born in chaos and fire, sleep in mother's arms. Life disappears from the land, all comes to an end. Okay, so, yep. Ring shall be lost, birth coming, newborn souls, welcoming two crownless lords. Meaning that they are lords, essentially, so they're both royalty. They just don't have their crowns yet. That shall survive the Armageddon. So basically, two royalty will survive. And, sleep in mother's arms. This specifically means that the person who does this and fells this Lord of Snakes is the mother to the New World. And by process of elimination, we've already found out who it's going to be. So, yep. That's all I wanted to say. I could read the wise man's interpretation, but it doesn't really add to anything. So, yep. Back to the actual video. Hey guys, Spartan here. Welcome back to Odin Sphere leifthrasir edition. I probably should have been keeping track of what part this was, but it does not matter because these will be the final two episodes that I'll be recording back to back. So, things that happened off screen. Of course, I went and gathered all the recipes, and everyone is now up to a flat level 60, so shouldn't be too much problems. Now, there's three things you need to do before getting 100%. You have to fill out the alchemy guide, which is pretty damn easy. You have to fill out the kitchen guide, which I did, as I just showed a part of that there. And part 3 is you have to fill out the story archive, which I did, like, off-screen. Notice how it says that I have 1 hour and 55 minutes in this, because there's a whole bunch of stuff you have to do. I think I just explained it in the last episode, but basically, yes, I had to go through and do all the scenarios except for the canonical ones. So, yep, let's start. Also, you will not get the whole blue zoom in like all the other books did at part 1, because that's just what happens. Now, I'm going to be quiet for a fair while here while these cutscenes play.
The spell of Darkova is still affecting me. I knew it would happen, but my heart is tainted. I can't bear it. Like a wolf, my hunger eats away at my very core. Velvet, not even you are safe from my appetite for human flesh. This shall be my end. But I cannot rot like this. Over here, Levanthan. Now sleep. Dream of devouring all. Greedy minds have once again set this cauldron alight. It should know who its master is, even without the ring. Now, respond to my voice. The time has come to bring judgment upon the earth. I am one with destruction. Absorb the power of every Phozon in the land. Now, annihilate this empty shell of a world! What a terrible sight. So this is what remains of King Valentine. Ingwe, you're alive? You still hide, coward! Are you any better? You fled from the Netherworld. How rude. Hard to believe. You share my noble blood. Oh, we're very much alike. We both lust for power. Power? What power could you possibly hold? Let me show you the Darkova. Relive Titania once again. Impossible. I'll turn your precious cauldron into scrap. Will you fight to the death? Aye, unpleasant, isn't it? The cowardly prince who destroyed his country will give his life to save it.
There are 4 cutscenes here, by the way, so this does last a while.
There it is again. Someone is calling upon the power of Darkova once more. Stop! My blood is boiling, but the anticipation awakens a sick pleasure inside me. My heart is growing dark. Ah, here they come. That woman sends her servants to restrain me once again. King Galen, our queen who set your shackles has been sent into the darkness. No one shall interfere with the king's freedom once again. Then obey me, gravekeepers. If you wish the power of darkness to survive, then obey the shadows around you. From this moment on, lead the dead. Make your way to Titania. But we cannot leave. The Queen blocked the path. What?
Rest assured, King Galen. There is a way to escape.
Who are you?
I am your humble servant. My appearance has changed, but my loyalty has not. I am Beldor, a wise man. Are you aware that the Holia are able to traverse the border between life and death? As the new power figure in the Netherworld, all you need to do is command them.
Alia, show me the way. Let us abominations leave and enter the living world so we can devour life.
Another thing to take note of is this, of course, takes place after Gwendolyn's story, which is the last one canonically. Well, not canonically, chronologically.
What's happening?
The land is collapsing.
What?
Highness, the ocean rises. If this continues, 'tis only a matter of time until our land sinks below the waves.
The prophecies begin.
King Onyx! Your Majesty, what can we do?
There is no going back now. We shall march inland.
But the prophecies tell of our demise when we get to the World Tree.
There is no World Tree! That story is a mere fable. We shall burn the forest away and prove that those prophecies are false. Inform all in the Fire Realm. The time to seize the world has arrived.
King Odin, at this rate...
Galen runs the Netherworld. Do we have any troops?
Our infantry has been completely annihilated. The Valkyrie...
The main gate is destroyed. The enemy is inside the palace.
I knew this day would come. I made the Baelor for this. If only I still had it.
Here they come. We must protect the king.
is quiet. I no longer hear battle. I must be the only one left. Any warrior encountering so many Halya must become weak of heart. Why, 'tis Griselda. Have you lost your way in all this chaos? I have never done anything fatherly for you. Not once. If I could die for you, I would be satisfied. It seems that we can be together forever now. Are you happy, Griselda? You're so lovely, my child.
As foretold, death triumphs. From the balcony, you can see the dark troops cover the mountain and beyond. The spirits shall soon arrive here.
Ragnarvel must be...
Princess, remain calm. We must escape from here. I understand you must be worried about Oswald, who went to gather information.
Princess Gwendolyn, this way. He shall take you to safety.
Maris, I'm sorry. Please fetch my spear.
Princess Gwendolyn!
I shall follow Oswald.
No, you mustn't!
Fear not. I am a Valkyrie. If it becomes too much for me, I shall fly away. Now, go on.
Princess.
If we are to meet, let us meet atop Horn Mountain. They're coming. Hurry! What? No. Griselda? Are you... here for me?
Knock down the crown. Do not forget your role. From the epic poems.
Griselda?
Alright, so there are 5 bosses in here. Of course, one of the each being, you know, one of the 5 events that happens. And you actually choose who fights who, and my controller went off from being idle for too long. Give me a second here. There we go. So, yep. First one, Six-Eyed Beast. This is still in the order of the prophecy. So, as the prophecy said, the Six-Eyed Beast feeds on man and destroys hope or whatever. So, you can't use a man, supposedly, but if you read between the lines, you can't use a human. And there are 2 units that are not humans, Mercedes and Cornelius. And Cornelius is the answer. I'm pretty sure I went over this before, though.
This is Darkova. Could trying to fight this even be considered a battle? Ingwe, is that you? Did you use the secret magic? Answer me!
Yes, 'tis true.
Who's there?
Let me introduce myself. I am Urzur's acquaintance.
You're one of them. Is what you said true? Is this really Ingwe?
Indeed. He used the secret technique in order to stop the cauldron. But little did he know that there is also a spell to control the Darkova.
Control it? That's impossible. If there was, my father would not have been forced to kill my grandfather.
After the incident with King Gallen, your father had us research the spell. Our work was successful.
My father? What are you planning to do?
Foolish questions deserve no answers. If you plan to stop me, you will become a victim of my loyal servant.
Ingwe, I feel for you. You are innocent in this. My father also fought a demon beast with this. I'm not afraid. Just wait. I won't let you suffer.
So pretty much this scenario is pretty ironic, because it's only happening because Ingwe cast 2 Puka curses, one on Cornelius and one on Beldor, so that he wouldn't actually die. So this boss is, upon first glance, you'd think it is the exact same as the one that Velvet fought. This one is quite different, however. It does share a lot of similarities, though, except you may notice if you look closely that these things have 3 different eye colors. This Darkover version has fire, poison, and ice elements, and it is actually vulnerable to all of these status effects, except for each head that is, you know, suitable to that element. I believe he always uses poison first with his attack. Yep. So, whenever he slams the ground, instead of just creating a fire barricade, he boosts these little ground things up a bit and causes one of these effects. The poison cloud is by far the worst. The ice ground thing is the easiest to deal with because it is pretty much nothing. Also, the Darkover has a weird effect, and this is shared by most of the bosses. I think actually all... No, one of the bosses doesn't. 4 out of 5 of the bosses have this weird status where if you attack them, you aren't actually kept in the air from your combo, so you actually are dropping, which is a bit of a pain. Also, whenever he does this attack, his heads switch around, so if you're always attacking the one on the right, that will change. Okay, so yeah, this is the easiest one to deal with. Also, if you are grinding this for 100%, any items you use in these fights will return to you after the fight, so feel free to use whatever potions you want. I'm going to use a Whirlwind potion here. Whirlwind, since it does freeze, is effective at stemming the tides of these heads, apart from the one ice head, as improve, as you can see right here. So I can't stand on this... Oh wait, no, the Whirlwind destroyed it. There was a little pillar there I could stand on, and you know, in order to get easier hits, but I just destroyed it. If they get too big, they'll be destroyed anyway. They pretty much just block your walking. Also, that tornado attack was, I believe, used by the first Darkover. I don't know why Ingwe powered up. Also, he drops level 1 potions for some reason. Don't know why. He does drop a lot of them, though. I believe it's to know which head you've been damaging. But then again, 2 of them just drop Cyclone, so that makes no sense, really. So, yep. That's pretty much all there is to this fight. We've already seen the Darkover before. I probably should be talking about stuff here. I'll have plenty of time to talk about this stuff later. Also, a lot of crits because my luck stat is now really high. Not too much higher than it was before, like back when I was still doing Cornelius' chapters. But yep. Also, most of my Cypher attacks are useless. Also, you can see the head's twitching and shifting around there. If my Elgato can capture that. God damn it, I stood right on it, and yes, it does damage you. And for some reason, you can drain health from this. But yeah, I haven't been, like... Most of these attacks are useless. Whirling Blade is useless because it doesn't hit upwards. Strike Ray is useless because you're going to have to stand on a pillar in order to use it. Tempest does something. Brave Hurl has barely enough range to hit. But yep. Ironic. Some of the characters are actually better against certain bosses, which you will see if you're going for 100%. For example, Cornelius is actually really good against Boss 2. But Boss 2, he's not meant to fight. So yep, oh, this is the example of a pillar when it gets too big. It's just gonna crumble. So yep, certain characters have certain interactions against bosses, and I really should not jump into the Poison Cloud. Don't want to have to make an antidote. And after these, I will be doing like a cut together of like all of the special interactions. You know what, probably just all of the interactions, because there isn't many, I don't have to do many of the generic interactions. They're pretty much characters that have no interaction with each other. Like, for example, who's a character that would not interact with Darkova? Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn does not interact with the Darkova, so she just uses a generic one that is also shared with Oswald because he does not interact with his boss either. Because what would they have to talk about? But, yeah, bosses 1 and 3 here do have the most interactions. Example, of course, Cornelius just has one there, Velvet has one because why wouldn't she, and Mercedes actually does because it's Ingwe. I'm gonna use Strike Ray here. Actually, I probably shouldn't because the recoil of using Strike Ray will probably knock me off. Yep. I predicted that. Still did okay damage. That's just because Cornelius does so much damage. Ironically, he's actually probably the strongest character in the game due to his healing factor with Vampire Green and critical heal. Oswald comes probably at a second because of his Shadow Armor halving all damage he takes in Shadow form, but... Wait. Oh, okay, I was like, oh wait, am I not taking damage from this? But no, it's fine. I should probably just spam some potions right about now, but... Well, I have a Whirlwinds. And these million Blaze potions. There's a reason why I'm... Really? I have that many healing potions too? Jeez. Let's use Killer Cloud because that's an aerial attack. It's... as in, it can hit enemies in the air. It seems to not be hitting the poison head, but then again, it doesn't matter. Because there's no escape from the poison! I actually have a little clip I took of that guy saying that from Shadow of War. I actually inserted it into an older video of mine. I believe it was on one of Velvet's videos, one of the ones in Horn Mountain. If you listen closely, you can hear it, but I didn't point it out because I wouldn't. Oh wait, level 1 Whirlwind. This is going to deal like no damage, especially since I didn't even put it into the beginning of the boss. I expected it to jump back, but... There we go. As you can see, the Poison Head is obviously taking the least damage because it's not affected by poison. I had to do this fight with Velvet, and that's also good evidence of boss resistance, how the Firehead pretty much just stayed alive for most of the fight. Because Velvet's fire just didn't do anything to it. Also, this is pretty much the only time you can actually see Cornelius moving at his maximum speed due to the fact that my Dazzle couldn't capture. Oh, I should probably redo those, eventually. However, I am stuck with the stupid Poison Cloud because I killed Poison last. Probably should have used Fire. Or Ice. Yeah, you know what, I really should have used Ice, but then Ice doesn't really do any damage. Let's just throw these level 1 Blaze Potions because they can stack for a bit. There's really no point to collecting these potions because they just get lost anyway. I don't want to step into the poison. Poison is probably the most annoying status effect in this game, aside from Frog, but Frog is stupidly rare. In fact, it didn't even happen once to me. I believe there's a potion just for curing Frog. I don't know if that's true, though. But yep, boss 1 down. Probably be doing 3 bosses in this episode and 2 in the last because I have to sit through all the huge, really long credit sequence.
Cornelius!
He's not dead. He's quite stubborn.
Ingwe, you're hurt.
It's karma, Velvet. Don't you feel it? Even now, the cauldron is absorbing photons from the world. I couldn't destroy it. It's too late. The root of the land is dead, and Arion is sinking into the ocean. Do you remember the note?
Mother's note?
Perhaps destroying the cauldron is the wrong thing to do. She wrote the note for us. Perhaps she tried to tell us how to overcome the dangers. The cauldron guides the way with the final stone. If the core is reversed, the phosons stored inside will be released. That might save us all.
Ingwe.
Don't concern yourself with me, Cornelius. You're near death, too. But thanks to you, I was able to return to my own body.
Ingwe.
Don't worry about me. Mother waits for me on the other side. She's sure to punish her bad son. This is your cowardly brother's last request. Velvet, do your duty. Now go. This is it. And even now, I think of her face. I wonder why. I hope she is safe. Mercedes, I wish I could see you one last time.
Hey, you get your wish in one of the other parts of thing, non-canonical. Not even bothering to save here because I don't need to. You get to save after every single boss, and I'm just going to rechange my sitting position. Right. Kind of obvious if you read between the lines, Oswald is the one to take down this. And this is one of the most annoying fights in the game, ironically.
I sensed something vile. Greedy fool, did you gain your power by selling your soul to that woman? That same power of death continues to torment me.
Though the Queen is no more, who are you to lead the Halia?
Galen, King of Titania. You have no right to address me.
Your body. That must be what happens to one who gives up his soul.
Ah, Odette. How frightening. My heart is full of dread. Even her shadow scares me.
I cannot allow your corpse to fester in this world any longer. I'll send you back to hell.
Spelt with one L.
'Tis the end. This is Hell's new home. The prophecies say that you are my servant now. They also say that I cannot be defeated by you. There is a royal secret. The only one to kill me is someone of royal blood, so the prophecies state. Even if you are the Shadow, a common warrior like you will never be able to kill me.
Isn't Oswald royalty now that he's married to Gwendolyn? Alright, so he is of course the corpse of the Darkover, so he fights relatively similarly, or at least you would think. So Oswald, by the way, is kind of useless because Vile Rush does not work. Because you cannot get stuck on anything. So instead of the Darkover where he just has 3 heads and you just kind of break them, he has 3 heads as well, except... Oh, hang on, I gotta avoid the random bug attack. So you notice he has 4 health bars instead of the 3, and these are just tiny health bars. Once you destroy all those heads, he does this, and you have to attack this hard. You pretty much need to spam Rising Void or other moves like that, because this thing is annoying to hit as all hell. Much like the Darkover, you don't get stuck on it, so it doesn't negate gravity. Meaning that you need to use attacks that have very high hitboxes that can hit, you know, this. And if it heals to full, then you pretty much wasted all your time. Also, if you hit it too much, it forces you away. And I was a bit late there, god damn it. So yep, this is the most annoying fight in the game, with the exception of maybe boss 4. And some of the other bosses that we fought already, but we don't talk about those. Thankfully, these heads go down relatively quickly. So you get used to that sound. So Blaze Potions are very useful here. I don't need one right now though, because the heart does not heal itself. and it automatically heals itself to full once you have destroyed one of those phases. Oh, I was expecting it to do a different attack. It's got a move where it goes underground and it becomes invincible for a while. I guess the stagger is just too strong. Also, this is hurting my right thumb, by the way, because of how much mashing square I'm doing. Totally didn't block there, but that's fine. So, this boss starts out relatively calm, but it does get more intense later on. Okay, this is that attack. Just pick up this bone for no reason. Yeah, get out of here. Also, it has an angel wing for some reason. Here's an example of what Valor Rush does. Not much. Also, displaces you. You can hit these parts of them and deal damage to... What does it even deal damage to? I don't know. Because you're not actually hitting one of the heads. And it's not damaging the heart, so... It's hard to find commentary for this boss. Ironically, one of the... No. Oh. Hang on, let me just Shadow Step here. Shadow Step is actually quite useful. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I'm paying attention to the boss, but he spawns so many little shits later on in the fight. I mean, sure, he's spawning a few here, but it's nowhere near as much as he does later on. And I really need to heal. I need more healing potions. 750. Let me just combine a whole bunch of them. No, there's nothing there I can use for extra levels. 4 plus 4 is 5, according to alchemy at least. It's not multiplicative, or even additional, it's just whatever it is. If I had wisdom I could do that better, but I don't, because who honestly uses wisdom? I know I got it for some of the characters that were leveling up, but yep. Okay, now I'll show you why Blaze is very useful. And I missed completely. Son of a bitch. So Blaze is just high enough. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Oswald is perhaps the worst character for this because he has one attack that actually hits it. Granted, the Shadow Form is very useful, but it's not useful enough. God damn it, I hate how Shadow Step, like, stops working sometimes when you actually step on a platform with it. Also, he's got that tongue attack where it makes that weird sound. Sounds of despair. I have a bunch of whirlwinds. I want to use this level 9 whirlwind a lot later. Well, a lot later. Does this hit you? I know Tocton has stupidly large hitboxes, but... yeah. Also, yeah, you can stand on the heads. Only if they're not broken, however. So make sure you attack the top one first. Otherwise, you'll be in a lot of pain. So this Blaze Potion just keeps going on. Convenient. So you'll see on the right or the left, depending on which space I'm standing on, that more stuff will spawn, and also those two pillars deal damage to you instead of just blocking you. So they are more of an annoyance than anything else. I mean, as in, more of an annoyance than the other dots that he spawns. God damn it, why is Oswald so slimy? I know it's the Shadow Form, but still. No excuse. No excuses. Also, you can't hurt these Halia, they're just here to attack. For a slight bit. They attack once, and then they just fuck off. Yeah, you get out of here. It's kind of weird how his heads don't really do much. You know what, let's use this attack one last time. It's just sad you can't see it on the map. You can't carry any more grape seeds. I don't think at this point of the game Oswald will be caring about grape seeds. Yeah, forget that attack. Crawls along the ground. And now we wait while he repositions himself. I hope you cannot hear me mashing square. Yeah. I just want to get out of this part as fast as possible because this is where no progress gets made. You know what? His health is relatively low enough. Let's use level 4 Whirlwind. I believe you can take down both, like, the final phases of the heart at once. I believe it doesn't heal once, or something like that. I don't remember correctly, though. Yes, I know I did this fight recently for 100%, but still. That was, like, a while ago. So Blizzard is useful, not Blizzard, Whirlwind is useful here because it kills all these stupid spirits that he summons. Yeah, that's stupid pillars of darkness. Yep, he doesn't heal this time. He did heal, but that's just because he healed full anyway. Also, he starts spawning these stupid pillars more often, and he also is dropping materials where I can make a potion if I need to. But this fight does not give you mantra blows. I have a bunch of them in my inventory, but still, no excuse. Just dodge the tongues. The tongue attack used to come out a lot faster in the original. Ironically, most of these bosses were not changed from the original versions, as in Galen is... I mean, Galen is changed, these stupid pillars didn't happen in the original, but pretty much everything else was the same. I know the haunts, the green zombie-like things, these guys weren't in the original, they were just normal skeleton enemies. But other than that, pretty much the same. The most changed boss was boss 4. Boss 4 is like completely reworked. Let me just use this now. I'm just gonna... Oh wait. Actually, I want to use the whirlwind potion, so I better not be in berserk form, because you can't potion there. Can you like fuck off while I use this potion? Level 9 whirlwind potion. This is gonna stay until the end of the fight. It's so powerful, and also increases the freeze effect. Galen is, of course, immune to like all status effects, though. He's just too awesome. If I can combo into these corpses and get them up here, I can combo into them, luckily. It worked really well. There we go! Galen defeated, and dropped some money. I'm pretty sure that was one of the haunts that drops money, but... yes.
What is happening? My heart cries out. Why you? Only Titanian. Ah. Who was your father?
I never knew my parents.
Do not forget that.
But a dragon once told me my father was a man named Edgar.
Edgar. I had considered that he would take the throne over his brother Edmund.
The throne of Titania?
But he chose to defy me and married that woman. He left resenting me, and I knew one day he would try to take my life. This is why I had him killed in secret. So, Edgar's son escaped. 'Twas inevitable then. My killer would be of royal blood. Destiny tricked me again.
Edgar. He let me escape to the fairy kingdom. So I wasn't abducted, but was found instead. Like Melvin said. He said I was just a tool. But when he first found me and raised me, there must have been something there. Titania is sinking. The kingdom is dying.
Yep, Oswald is related to Cornelius. I thought that was an arse pull originally, but they alluded to it back in Cornelius's story. On part 1 of it, where Edmund said something about, you remember what happened to your uncle who left and married some woman? Yep, alluded to it before Oswald's chapter even started. Now this is going to be a long video, but I need to do this, so I went over this, I believe. You know what? It's because I forgot to do the thing at the start of this where I originally was going to, so I'm just going to have to cut it in before I patch this into a video. But yep, fire scorches the surroundings of the throne, but doesn't touch the throne itself, and that throne being Mercedes. Also, you can just, you know, what I said before. Wow, her bow got buffed.
The forest. It's burning. Is someone... Is there anyone left from my country? No, it can't be. Ingwe, is it you? You liar. You said we'd meet again.
Ah, Queen, here you are. Your forest is in ashes.
Onyx.
The world burns.
Don't be so smug. If the world is ending as the prophecies say, then you will not survive it.
Prophecies? It all follows the poems. But where is this so-called world tree that is supposed to stop me? It does not exist! Observe the scorched earth. I don't know which tree your prophecies mention, but it obviously isn't here. 'Tis the mutterings of senile old mages. Their words are mistaken. Flame covers the world, as it was when it began.
Even if the country is destroyed, my mother would never give up. I won't stop drawing my bow. I will act as a queen until the very end.
No speech for that transformation, like he does with the other characters that interact with him. Right. So this is another fight redone, except of course it was only done by Oswald before. Now, one thing to know about this boss, that is like different to all the others, is that Onyx, much like he was in actually the original Odin Sphere, is heavily vulnerable to stagger. So if you have anything that can stagger him, use it. I really don't have many potions for Mercedes. Just anything that hits rapidly is very good. Now, unfortunately, Mercedes' attacks don't stagger, so that means that she has the hardest time fighting Onyx. Except for the big shot when she's not been firing for a while. So this attack is really easy to dodge as Mercedes, as you can just literally just fly over him. And he does that 3 times, of course. Now, at this stage you want to use a Whirlwind Potion because he's going to launch his fists off, and if you have the Whirlwind Potion off, this attack becomes much easier to deal with. Also, I should probably be using some Cypher skills, as Onyx is a ground-based enemy. Just use Round Shot a bit. Spread Shot is also good, but I don't want to use that right now. So if you time that right, like I just did there, you can just absolutely destroy his fists before he even does anything with them. How much damage does Spread Shot do? Decent amount. I really didn't need to reload that, but I did it anyway. And I don't think you can stagger him while he's reloading his fists. Yeah, he even dropped a health bar and didn't get staggered. Luckily I have all these Whirlwinds, just stocked them up for this specific reason. I mean, Whirlwind is just like the god potion of this game, but yep. Also, Onyx is immune to all status effects. Except poison for some reason. I should probably get that on him. Oops, I thought he was doing a different attack. Okay, Onyx, just go. Okay, let's get poison on him. Toxin. I don't know why Onyx is vulnerable to poison. Maybe it's a Maester Seymour system, but fully heal. Oh, I forgot if you do it in the air, it does a different, like, angle. Well, Onyx is almost dead. I'm just going to use this level 9 Roland immediately because it does so much damage. Get over here, you asshole. You know what? Does Energy Shot deal more damage? Accidentally bang my controller against my table. Onyx, get over here. He's just charging off away from the fight. Come on. God damn it, he's... Oh, you know what? Jump over here. Nice. Perfect. Prepare? I was prepared. You are not prepared. Where is Sprite Shot? There we go. I know it doesn't stagger, but still. Many hits. Oh wait, it does stagger sometimes? I should probably use that more often. Didn't know that. Then again, Onyx is very vulnerable to staggering anyway. Don't jump on her. Okay. He's almost dead. He's not that hard of a boss. I am level 60 and these enemies are supposedly level 50, but still. Bye-bye, Onyx. Just get the phosons. It doesn't even matter because they don't actually get added to your total. Or do they? I don't really know. I don't think they do.
It can't be. It wasn't in the prophecies. The Inferno King dead?
Mother, I'm so sorry. Your kingdom is ruined. I'm useless, after all. I couldn't be like you. Oh, dearest land. Please take me. This life will now return. Heavens, I return my name. I am Mercedes. My true name, Yggdrasil.
That name. This cannot be. Yggdrasil. The World Tree. The fire is halted by the World Tree. So, you were part of the prophecies, Mercedes. I'm a fool. I didn't see it coming. But, little queen, the prophecies are still incorrect. In this barren land, there are no survivors.
Spoiler alert, not everyone's in this land. Ugh. I'm going to save here because I'm going to need a break because this just takes too long. I've been recording for a fair while actually. You can actually see from 47:14 to... Oh, really? No, this is 25 minutes? Oh, I guess that's 25 minutes in-game. I don't think cutscenes count. But I know I've been recording for longer. So, this is where I'm going to cut it here. I will see you guys in the next video, where we'll be going through the last 2 fights, and a crap ton of cutscenes. It's going to be like maybe an hour-long video. It's just that long. So I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.